how we've seen the comp be played.
That's that's something to go off. Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
and I think I don't know if it was you that used to say this, but it was like figure out the matchup.
Yeah. That's the
Uh,
first thing I'm gonna start with too. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I told Spike. I was like, don't swap off this comp, figure it out, and that's what they did on Hollywood, and it actually worked.
Well,
Yeah, true.
I'm just getting my recording set up. Can you see my screen?
No more Roger. I need to watch stream now.
Yes.
Yes.
Just one more ahead.
Let me pull up the maps. Yeah, I think that's a good exercise. Not only for that comp, but like for most comps, unless you're like, it's really not working, like spawn capped an entire map or something, and you can't
Yeah.
really figure it out. It's a good exercise because especially, even with Rhine comp, like you don't always want to stack on that, and that's an example of like if you keep playing it, you'll eventually notice other things that work. So what do you want to start with? I guess is the first question. Like the monkey or the Rhine, like the monkey rush.
Let's start with the monkey. Actually, Spike, what do you want to start with? The monkey comp or the Rhine?
I think monkey.
Okay.
I feel
It's
like I have an
either
okay understanding of brawl for right now.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Is it just on my Discord? Is the stream like super dim?
It's dim because my monitor. So I don't have to, Timoteo. I think you know what it's gonna look like.
It's
right.
Oh my god!
That's a flashbang if I see one.
So I think the dim is
prefer the dim.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
makes
sense.
That's literally a flashbang. Like what?
Actually.
My monitor's HDR, so like it just doesn't stream on Discord. Like I have to I have to stream the OBS preview because that like lets me change the color settings, and I still don't know how to do it for Discord.
So weird.
No audio, but I think that's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay.
So is this everyone, or are we missing?
We're just missing Lifkey, but he's at an exam for another 10 minutes, I think.
Oh, so that'll be fine. So I can start, and then they can pop in. So basically, I looked over the most of Rialto. I have a few timestamp. I have a screenshots and stuff to talk about. But most of what I see on the monkey comp basically comes down to like the angles we take, our staging and like pathing. Not only like the pathing pre-fight in terms of rotations, and then once we know who we want to go on, we don't stage as well. We kind of just ooga booga forward. Who we go on is generally want to think about two things. Either they're I think they play the Ana Zen for most of it. Yeah, they've actually swapped to Ana Zen. Yeah. So Ana Zen, great targets if we can get to them. If we can't, we can look to pressure out their front line, force cooldowns, and chase. We do that a few times. Good. Few fights we overcommit, don't disengage once we use cooldowns. And a big thing for a lot of the fights is we overlap and misuse a few cooldowns, right? So overlapping. I'll get to that once I explain the comp. Don't want to spoil it yet. But some cooldown usage very visible from like top down. So I guess we'll start because they say this for most of the scrim. So how does this matchup look? No ults, just normal. How we're gonna take it most of the time.
I feel like Monkey and Tracer are gonna set up coordinated dives to try and dive the backline because they are very immobile and very squishy.
Yes, that is good. Yeah. What is everyone else doing?
I feel like I'm able to either add on to their dive or peel for my Sojourn.
Who's talking? I don't know.
Sam. Lucio here.
Lucio? Yeah. Okay. Yep. So how can you help? Other, going with the dive, but how else can you help? Right, other than
peeling for Sojourn.
Peeling for Sojourn, right? So what's your a good thing for Lucio that I like to say is like you have like a primary and a secondary role, right? So what's more important, going in with the dive or keeping your Sojourn alive?
I don't know. It depends.
It depends. Yeah, some fights your Sojourn is just under no pressure, right? Because she's in a really good spot. other fights, your soldier might have to slide in to be effective. In that case, you're instead of focusing on diving, you have to kind of exist with the soldier and boot people away, right? But understanding that like dynamic where your soldier's good, I'm gonna go help the dive until you have to fall back to peeling, or it might be the other way around. My soldier's gonna be under a lot of pressure, gonna help her, she's chill, and then I go back to the dive. Right, so I like to look at it's like a primary role and then a secondary role, if their primary is met. Good. Another thing, what about our speed? That's like a big part of Lucio. What are we doing with that?
If we see them like out of position, I usually use it. I don't know if that's. I think that's.
So who's using it?
Most of the time.
Who's using it? Right. Is it everyone? Is it just one person, or?
I guess it's more just the people who are diving.
Yeah.
So this could be like our Winston, Sojourn, could be Kiri if GTP's in on it.
Okay. Well, if you're Kiri.
Or not Winston Sojourn, Winston Tracer.
Okay.
Usually Sojourn would be in.
Good. Okay, so if your Winston jumps in, is he getting the speed boost?
He should be, I feel like.
Right. So I'll show some examples later on. Right? But how do I say it? There's a good example later on I'll get to, but if we want our monkey to go from like here to here, he can jump or he can speed boost.
Right.
Right? And we don't want to overlap both of them because they both do the same thing. Right?
Holy shit, that's so smart.
And especially against, like, I think you'll see situations where their Ana Zen are really, really far away. They're really hard to get to, right? We have to stagger them, right? So we amp speed and then jump, or we jump and then amp speed, depending, if we have cover, maybe speeding across this might not be the best, but jumping high ground and then speeding to chase, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right, that way you're able to just cross more distance, right? And especially since they don't have speed, it'll be harder for them to react, because you'll just like zoom across the map, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll show some more examples when we get to that. What about the Kiri and the Sojourn? What are we doing?
Typically, if I'm on Kiri in this comp, I'm diving with Winston, keeping him up, making sure he doesn't die, and also helping put pressure on the squishies we're diving.
Yeah, right. We're just like another DPS going in, right? So what's the risk with? Is there a risk with doing that? We're just gonna.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm TPing in with Winston, there's always risk of them, turning and focusing me. But for that, if that's really a problem, I have Suzu and TPs on a 6-second cooldown.
Yeah. Right. What are some situations where our Winston's Tracer gonna go in, but we don't want to TP, right? Because obviously we TP in and we insta kill them, perfect. But what are situations where we don't want to do that?
I'm sure there's a few off the top of my head. Perhaps if we're just trying to like soft engage, we don't want to do like actually commit to anything. It would be probably bad if I had to use Suzu before we truly committed. So if we're just soft diving, I probably don't want to do too much.
Yeah, right. Especially if you could still see your monkey, right? You don't want to make yourself like the diva will just boost her onto you right after. What about if they have ults? What kind of ults are scary to TP into?
Support ults.
Yeah, right. If you TP in and you don't kill the Zen because he trances, well now you're stuck. Right? Another one would probably be like Reaper ult, right? If the Reaper is like near their backline, or you don't know where he is and you TP in, well now you can't get away from the Reaper ult, right? I think those are the two big ones you just want to watch out for. And I think there's again examples later on, right? Another thing too is, let's say we're here, you're standing here, there's no one on high ground, there's an Ana Zen here. You need to TP to help your monkey dive?
Mm-hmm.
You can, yeah, right? But there's no...
Oh, was that a question? I thought...
yeah, it's a question, yeah.
My bad. I'm going...
You're good.
Yeah, I thought if we're standing there, it's probably a decent idea to help him dive, but at the same time, it might be a little... Wait, where are we diving?
Like let's say you're diving this Ana, and you're right here behind this monkey. And then the soldier's gone.
No, wait. Not there.
Yeah, right?
I could see everything there.
You can still do everything, right? So... the reason I'm saying that is because we want to look to put ourselves in situations where we don't have to just TP in, right? If we have to, yeah, there's situations where you're going to have to, right? But if there's situations where we can still get effective damage and heal monkey, we're going to take that every time, right? Just less risk involved, right? Especially once they start getting trance or a bunch of ult, our comp is in like cycles. We go in, we don't kill them. Well, what do? we get out and try again, right? But every like if we use CP and then they trance and then we die, right? We can't get another cycle in as effective. Or someone else, like our soldier messes up a slide, we can't get a cycle in as effective because we died. Sojourn, what are we doing? Is a Sojourn here?
Yeah, I'm
Buckethead?
here.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'll be doing, I'm mostly be trying to shoot their deer since it's easiest way for me to get my charge shot.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah.
So once I have my charge shot ready and our monkeys engaged, guarantee you, if I landed my shot, we're gonna kill at least one of them.
It's good. Yeah. What is our angle? What kind of like what does our positioning look like? I guess is what
I would say I would mostly say high ground because that way, if Diva actually want to put pressure on me, she had to use her booster, and if she does that, I can just slide towards my team, and we have a free pick because they're just not gonna have a peel.
Yeah, right. That's good, right? High ground, right? Another thing that high ground allows us to do is create another angle of pressure, right? You know, if we're diving here, your monkey drops on someone here, you're shooting from here. There's a monkey in their face, a tracer behind. They're looking in 4 different directions. It's very hard for them to allocate resources properly, right? So high ground creates that natural different angle. And I'll show some other examples later on. But yeah, it's good. That's the 2 cents. Another reason, just going on the matchup, right? Which I think they swapped Tracer. Right? I'm just gonna double check. Sometimes they play Tracer.
Maybe to contest.
Oh no, I think it was another map. The other map. Right. What is the enemy team going to do? Can the enemy team dive us? They have a diva. She's mobile. Can they dive us or no?
They can,
They can.
but
I mean, it's just not
we
going to
could
be
just
that
leave.
much pressure though, because it's only Diva and Reaper that can actually get up in our faces. And
Exactly.
if Sojourn does it, she's kind of just inting.
Yeah. Right. So what are they gonna do instead?
Wait
They're
for
gonna
us
just-
to come to them.
yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for us to come to them. Well, they're not gonna be AFK doing that, right?
Right.
They're gonna be the enemy, the red team. They have to play for map control, right, and angles. In not in the sense to like dive us, but to just pressure us out, right? So if they have a tracer, right, or they have a they have a Zen, they orb their Sojourn. Their Sojourn plays slightly split to prevent the tracer from flanking, right? Pokes out the monkey so that the monkey can't jump in, right? All they're trying to do is prevent our dive, right? And if they prevent our dive, we just kind of die, right? Because our monkey gets discorded, he explodes, and we can never go in. So we have to watch out for that and minimize the points when they're doing that. So minimize the spam damage you take, and minimize the angles they have on us, right? So if we example, let's say there's an Ana Zen here, but there's a soldier in here, there's a diva above us, and a Reaper. If we ignore and push up, we're just gonna explode. Right? So how do we deal with that?
By forcing people out.
Yeah, we can pressure the soldier, maybe shoot her a little bit, push her out. Right? Maybe we clear high ground, force the Reaper and Diva out. What if we can't do that? We can't force these people out, right? Another option we could do.
We could flank around.
Yeah. What does flanking around do? Is this soldier scary
I
anymore?
guess.
No.
No, she can't see us.
No, the supports can't do anything really from here. Right? I mean, they stand here, but kind of, they can just jump them, right? So it's a little scary for them, right? So it just minimizes the threats we have, so we can close distance and get on who we want to, right? Yeah, and that right there covers a lot of the things I saw from the map. But I'll start it up. We get the first timestamp. I think we played this first fight pretty well. Let me get. I think I'll just show it. Right, and I do want to show so our monkey jumps in, we're on Zen, good. I'm gonna go to you, Sam, right? So our monkey's gonna go on Lucio, our monkey's gonna go on Zen, we go on, we amp speed, right? So what's another potential use of other than amp speeding ourselves in, right? We do get the boop, right? It's good, right? We help finish off the Zen. We get here, right? But let's say we got here and we didn't need to use amp. What could we use amp for?
Sustaining in the fight.
Yeah, our monkey's
Like
where he
healing.
wants to be. Healing,
Yeah.
yeah. Keeping us alive, yeah. And
Or a
against
disengage.
we can
Yeah.
disengage, right? So talking about these cycles, let's say we went in, killed the Zen already, like as you know, you got there, shoot him, he dies anyway. Now we can, and let's say our monkey's exploding, he's low. Now we're in here, safer, less threats, right? And then we can go in for another cycle, or we're chilling, where we want to be. Like you said, we amp heals, stay in, chilling. Or they have more mobile characters and they don't stay on Zen. Maybe they have like Ana Lucio, they go away. We can chase and kill them. We have 2 movement cooldowns, they have 1. Right? So what's up? We have good angles. We have our Tracer coming from over here, Soldier from here. Monkey jumps in. So this is pretty good. Yeah, okay, we clean up pretty well. Good. We're gonna look at 3 minutes.
60 seconds remaining.
Right? So I want us to tell me what's different from that fight compared to this one. And that's like the general format we're gonna go through. Right? Slow down.
They have a lot of ults.
They have a lot of ults. Okay. So what does that look like? What how are we gonna deal with that?
One, we can try and bait out Trank.
Okay. How?
Sending Monkey and Tracer on Zen,
Okay.
and then trying to like get him low enough where he's forced to Trank. And then like saving speed to disengage.
Okay, good.
Or we can match the Trank with a beat,
Okay.
but that's also not
We
super
probably want to
favorable.
save it for Sojal. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
That's fine
initially.
too. Yeah.
Reaper ult, we can kind of try to save our mobility cooldowns to avoid that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think you hit the nail on the head. Like we go in, we do a dive, but the goal isn't to kill the Zen. If we kill him, that's great, right? He didn't trans, right?
Mhm.
But we go in with the expectation that we're not going to kill someone, and we get out, right? Getting these cycles in, right? I'll get rid of the icons. Maybe it's a little. Can you see the outlines well enough? The characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Right. So that's an option, right? We also have, if we can't get out for some reason, we have plenty of like cart progress to afford to lose in a worst case scenario. If we can't get out, we go in, force trance, force Diva Bomb, maybe Reaper. Okay, we take the L, go in, we'll get another touch and just win with Curio or something, or just aggro beat in and just insta kill their backline.
Yeah, honestly, since I feel like they have 4 ults, it might be better to just dry fight it because we know we'll have another recontest.
Right. Both are options, right? So assuming we do either, what's the easiest way to get onto the Zen? Right, like I'll play it out. Like
60 seconds.
Set up in that, like we could try and walk through that right room.
right, go this way.
But first we need to scout where Zen is,
We need to
I
scout.
guess.
Yeah. Step 1.
And then try and use cover to get close to him, so we don't have to use mobility cooldowns to kill him.
What kind of cover can we use to get to that Zen?
We can use the right room here, or just like, cause yeah, if we scout that he's in this room, we can walk through right here. Oh, I don't like how the Reaper's there, so
What about up here? Here's monkey Ugabuga.
yeah,
I think our Tracer's getting the same idea, right? Come this way, right?
true.
So they,
Yeah.
if whenever possible, just with any kind of dive comp in general, if we can get on high ground, just drop on them. Well, we don't use jump or we don't use amp, right? Now we have both cooldowns to live, and that first option of, like you said, forcing trance out becomes suddenly much easier to do, right? So just keeping an eye out, not only where they are, but like what positions they're not controlling. Again, we have way more mobility than them, right? So we can take these positions instantly. Everyone can take high ground. Lucio, Kiri, Soldier, everyone, right? And then how can we develop our angles? One drops this way, one drops this way, one drops this way, right? And then we, force trance and then get out. Because we didn't really use anything to commit. But if we look at like how this fight takes place, right? Rewind it, right? We get both of our
Right.
Kiri cooldowns forced out like right away. And Monkey is instantly has to jump, use all his cooldowns. Kind of just explodes, right? As opposed to coming down, they pop Reaper, they pop Trance, we get out. and we don't have to invest as much. We can still Curio if we want to force. That's fine too. Right? That make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We go to 6 minutes. I think we try to recontest and they just can't. Right, so it's fine. Okay, I'll get this fight.
30 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining.
So what are we thinking? Recontesting.
Recontesting, I think we send the Tracer there to just get that initial touch, and then we end up going point once his recall gets forced. And then I see that the Ana is just kind of free shooting in the back, and I know we really won't have any chance of winning this fight if we don't kind of like force her out off the high ground, because she's just gonna have a bunch of damage. She can get a nade eventually that'll just kind of ruin us. I have a horrible bubble placement here though, so
It is a little
that's
unfortunate,
the thing.
right? I think just keeping in mind, especially since it's such a far jump, we can bubble off and then just kind of fall back if we can't get it
Oh,
alone.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. This is 6 minutes. I meant to look at 5 minutes. Hold on. Like, I remember you guys not doing on the recontest. Okay. I think this is the fight I want to look at, actually. Don't have trance. I think this is it, yeah. Okay, so what do we want to do right now? Yeah, before this happens.
I think we know. Or before this happens.
Well, right now, like we're coming back, right? They're pushing the corner. We see the diva up here, Sojourn on cart. What are we thinking?
I think we go for the Sojourn cart.
Okay.
Especially because we know that she has her ult. We had tracked that, I remember. So I think that's why we choose to die for her, because she's like by herself on cart. So we can force her mobility cooldown out, and hopefully her ult. And then when that happens, I can try and primal her ult away.
Okay. So what do we need to dive the Sojourn?
One movement cooldown in, and then if she goes to a diveable spot, you use another one.
Yeah. Right? And so using our cooldowns properly so we can get to her, right? And what else do we need if we're diving something, right? What prevents them from just pressing S key and being fine? Right? We need angles on the hit, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So we want to make sure our tracer's ready, right? At least, within a blink or two, able to help, right? And how does that look? So it's kind of, tracer's pretty self-explanatory. How does that look for Sojourn? Mr. Buckethead, what are we thinking? How can we help, right? Because if it looks like Monkey's going to jump here, Sojourn's going to be over here, you're going to be out of the fight for a long time. So how do we help if that's what we're planning?
Honestly, there's not really much I can actually really help. Since in order for me to actually no, I can actually if we're gonna be speeding in first, I can actually come along and then use mobility get to them.
Yeah.
To dive with them.
That's an option. Yeah.
That's
we're
one option.
speeding in, right? Then you can kind of stay here if the things are in front of you. Like, get rid of that. You can stay here, give cover if it's good, right? You didn't use your slide. And if, you can keep riding the speed wherever the Sojourn goes, help kill her. Or if this is a good angle, you're fine too, right? Yeah. So again, you have the Sojourn angle from here. We have Tracer somewhere from behind, and Monkey's Monkey on top, right?
Yeah, I think one thing too that I noticed about myself when I was like in this scrim a lot is I was kind of going too fast, and I think a lot of the times I just needed to take a second to think. Because like right there, I kind of go in, and the only one that can follow with me is MLG because of the fact that he has TP.
Yeah, they just teleport across, right? Or Lucio is like, so can't even help.
Yeah,
right?
Lucio's still behind, Soja's still behind. I don't know where Tracer was either.
Yeah, Tracer was like right here, right? And then I think they have to spend like 3 blinks to just get even near, right? So I want you to think of it as more of like, it's like a Rhine comp, but you can jump. You're Reinhardt, but you can jump. So you still have your team kind of close to you. They don't have to be inside you, right? you know, still getting that like either visual check, everyone's good, or and then just a confirmation before we go, right?
Yeah.
Because even though they get nanoed, if we have, you know, 3 other players in the fight, it's a little, you know, high, you know, we might be able to get her. Lucio boop. Maybe we can switch charges, go on the Ana or something, or you primal her away. But we just don't have people there, right? So by the time our Lucio gets in, our Fury just gets headshot. Right. Yeah.
60 seconds remaining.
Next fight we're gonna look at is a similar situation. It's at 5:42. It's coming up soon. I can just keep playing it. I'm not too sure. Right. So right here. Right. So it's the fight right after that. What are we thinking? Same thing? Anything different? Get some time over.
60 seconds.
Doesn't have to be Mr. Spike. It could be anyone. What are we thinking?
Can you
Sorry,
re-say
I'll
that?
be back. I'll be back in a second. I had to just kill the spider, so I had to wash my hands.
You're good. You're good. Timoteo, like, what do we want to do? Like, we just, you know, just had the nano soldier ult, right?
We want
lost
to get
Kiri-
out.
Yeah, we get out, right? And then our Kiri respawns.
60 seconds.
Our Kiri's about to come back. I don't think any of us die before she gets back. Yeah. So now what do we want to do?
We need to start thinking about our next dive. So
Okay.
how we're gonna get to them on that. I mean, we're in a really good spot right now to
Okay.
speed at them. I don't think we used amp that fight,
No, we have
so
amp. Yeah.
we could just amp onto their Zen or Ana.
What don't they? What do we have that they don't? I guess 2 things. What do we?
We have support ults.
We have support ults, and what else? What about positioning? What do we have that's different from theirs?
High ground.
Defense. Yeah, we have high
Defense?
ground. We can
We
just
have high ground, yeah.
walk to them.
We speed, like, and that's it, right? We speed, or you know, if we're scared of a Reaper, we just go this way, right, and drop on the Ana. Yeah, looks like you know, we kind of set a plan right there, right? We have support ults, we have high ground. We're gonna use that to rush on them. They, you know, from ult tracking, they don't have. We just saw nano, right? And they don't have trance, so we can aggro beat in or carry in. Right? And again, what do we need to go on? Well, any dive just from last fight. Why was last fight so difficult?
Because we didn't dive together.
Right? And again, the diving together is, you know, we don't have angles on them to go in, and physically, you know, people. So
It's called banana rush, not banana dive.
Yeah. So we go in,
True.
right? Now when I look at our tracer here, we get all our cooldowns forced before like the monkey even is able to tickle anyone. Right? So lift key here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So if anyone's gonna be on the monkey engage, right? Especially you look at this as tracer, it's like, we kill their supports and we win. Right? So that's our primary goal. If we can mark someone else, force someone off, or do anything else and still be ready for this, that's good, right? But our main thing is going on these people, right? So I think maybe we want to do that on our own, right? But wanna help each other. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what the call was there, I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know, what were we
It was-
diving in the door?
Their Zen was there. You guys said dive the Zen,
Yeah. Oh.
but
Yeah.
the main thing so far lift has been overlapping cooldowns.
Yeah, right. I think we amp and jump in, right? We jump here and then we can amp to push in or amp to stabilize, right? Is another big thing. Pretty consistent. And again, scouting, right? I think you're low, but you see Zen.
Yeah, we probably didn't
I-
need to jump
I
there.
didn't need to jump, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Again, we have these cooldowns to live afterwards. We can also path this way. And then just looking at this, we don't have anyone behind them. Right? That, you know, maybe it's Tracer over here, right, to catch them, so the Zen just insta explodes. Or that's our Sojourn. Maybe this is a situation where you have to slide up here, right, to get that angle. I think we end up sliding anyway. Right?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I think they did.
I'll look at it. It's okay. Alright, so I think we try to walk in and then slide through. Yeah. So we can ride the speed boost. Let's say we don't jump. We have our tracer in position. We ride the speed boost in and then slide like to be behind them, right? It's still safe. You have cover. Your Lucio will be with you soon to peel for you. This is a situation where like Lucio would need to focus on peeling because you just use your cooldown to go in, and there's then on it insta explode, right? We're in better positions. We have more resources to survive their Death Blossom, right? And maybe we just end up needing Kiri Gold for that fight, right? Yeah. And if we scouted earlier when like both their Ana and Zen were down here, we could have quickly pushed out, right? But I think we were still getting healed up. Fine. Yeah. Now we look at the next one. We'll be at 721. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is another situation. Right. Right. So how do we want to take this? I rewind it a little bit. We're coming out of spawn. It's third point. It's Soldier's POV for this. Right. We see where they are. What are we thinking? How are we gonna go in?
I mean, from here, we could probably speed on to because the diva is very far away from their supports. If we
Yeah.
go through that like left room and we get on their Zen and Ana who are like alone.
Yeah.
I even think the supports are too far. So I think we have to use one cooldown, force out the Soj, and then jump after that and use the second one.
Yeah, I think that's
Because that
what we
that
end up doing.
forces Soj slide.
60 seconds remaining.
Right.
This ends now.
Yeah. We end up killing the Sojourn. I think again we overlap the speed, right? It ends up working out. And I think this is a situation. I think I was looking at Kiriko for this one.
I look so clueless with that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And then I die here, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being a little bit more careful on your TP, like consistently. And again, I think we jumped. If we speed in right onto the Sojourn or jump, whatever. You have to ask yourself, do we need that cooldown? Right, and just being ready. Like we know I mean, I don't know. Depends on how well we're communicating it, right? You can be in a spot where you don't even need to TP. I'm sure about the I guess a better diva just lasering you.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I don't know. And then we get to attack. Spend a little while pause. I think attack is more rotation based. I think it's like the same problem for like 2 fights. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So, rewind it. Rewind it a little bit. We're pushing cart. Okay. So what are we thinking right now? Get someone's POV. There's people above us.
Yeah, right now I think we just try to force them off high. At least get the Sojourn off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're. I remember I wanted to go on because we scout Zen on it in the back high ground.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that I want to try and path in a place where I can get to that back high ground and dive them. And we try to go underneath at first here, but the Reaper's kind of just holding that angle on us, so we can't really do that.
Where do you want to go? You want to go here or like here?
I want to go like to the far back high ground.
Like here?
Yeah, like kind of kite through there and then walk up.
Yeah, we can go all the way around this way. No Reaper over here.
Yeah.
Right? I like that a lot, right? Because look, we get to here without using any cooldowns. We amp speed maybe through this doorway and then jump if we need to, right? Gives time for our tracer to path around under maybe. Or just ride the speed boost and then like double blink to get behind him, right? Is another option.
I think what we end up deciding to do is we end up going we end up just walking high ground because what we do with that too is we force the Sojourn out as well. Because one of the issues we have if we do that one where we go through that courtyard is that Sojourn kind of just gets to sit there with her angle on us.
Well, like an angle, a Sojourn here.
Yeah, because as we're trying, I mean it's not a good angle though, so it's probably not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Right, again, and how how let's look at it this way. If a soldier's here, how quickly can they kill multiple players by the time you as 5 kill their Ana Zen?
We will kill Ana Zen before they probably even get a pick.
Yeah, right. And then again, as soon as you kill their Ana Zen, if you're low, you probably used a bunch of resources. You know, maybe you had to use or not use bubble. You have to use all your blinks, maybe your recall, maybe Suzu, and you wait, chill in here. They can't shoot you, and then we go in and clean the rest of them up. Right. You can also deposit your soldier, right? So like a rotational bait is what I like to use. I think there's other maps that'll be more applicable, but you send everyone here. You leave your soldier in hiding here, right? Ooh, they don't know.
Fucking so smart.
Right? Go up top. You push these people, and then now your soldier peaks late pre-fight, early mid-fight, as you guys are going on a Zen. Because in this quarter, you don't need the soldier to kill them, and then now you have this good angle to clean up the rest of them, right? And if you're still worried about a soldier just sitting here, she's here. And at any point, soldier can get back to her team by just shifting up here. That's where the Winston. Lucio carry you're gonna be. Yeah. So just in general, if you have to make a large rotation to clear people, think of like the what is it? LA Gladiators with the Widow, Surefour, and Oversleek. You guys know that clip?
Yeah.
It's the same fundamental idea. We rotate, right? We go onto the enemy. They might counter rotate. So like this Ana Zen might go this way. If they go this way, then that's we just kill the rest of our team, right? They might kite this way. If they kite this way, we cap the rest. Or even if they don't move, they're not looking this way, and it puts our soldier in a good spot.
Yeah, I did that similar in Hollywood.
Yeah, on Hollywood, he like stayed back, and it actually worked crazy well.
Yeah. As long as you're not scouted, it is very, very good. So yeah, I think that's the main thing for this first point is just looking like we can try to fight this, but it's gonna be very difficult. They're Ana and Zen pocketed, right? And then looking back to what their comp wants to do, if this D.Va sits here and just doesn't die, and their soldier just doesn't die, keeps pumping damage into you, Spike, that's how they want to win, right? If we can force them out, that'll be good, but it might be too difficult here. That's what I'm worried about. Right, and I think this fight, is this 11? Yeah, this fight. We go pressure the soldier, and she slides into this courtyard area, which kind of works out for us. We end up going there. This is good. Pressure the soldier. We kind of end up here anyway. And this is good. And then this allows us to go on the backline very easily. We just saw like the tracer alone to able to go in. Pulse. Perfect. Very good, very good. We look at 1335. Is this the fight I think it is? Okay. What do we want to do here? Rewind a little bit.
I think I know this one.
What's the play?
Is this right after he capped?
Yeah, right after
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. At first we didn't know what the supports were, so I think I was just going. I think Spike was like, "Go figure out what they are,"
Okay.
and he just jumped.
Just jumped. Okay.
Well, I think we called for a dive, but I don't know if I was ready.
Oh yeah, Tracer pinged it. It's good. Yeah. Kind of works out. So I want to ask, MLG not? Is that alright?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So this is one of those situations, right? Like one of the ults, and they have trance, right? So these would be one of the situations where we wouldn't want to TP in, right? And secondly, if our Tracer has Pulse and our Winston has Primal, do we even need to TP in and help them? Right?
I mean, probably not, especially not with Primal.
Probably not, and especially the enemy team isn't really grouped, so it's just a 2v2 at, maybe they get help, but they have ults to just clean it up, right? So both those combined would be like, I probably don't need GP. I'll poke. If I can help and go in, then yeah, right? But not immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then I want to look at Lucio for this. All right, and we just had Lucio on cart. right? So if we're going in for these hits, just having everyone ready, right? So maybe, you know, misjudge like how long it take you to get in the fight.
Are you
Same,
saying like we wait for a card to come around before we take the fight?
yeah, you can take the cart, wait for the cart to come around, or Lucio gets off cart sooner to go help, right? Because then we're taking a 4v5. Like the Lucio can't even boop the diva away off high ground, so Sojourn can have high ground, right? Like we're just purposely being down a player. Is all I'm worried about. Or have like, let's go back to when Monkey jumped in, right? Yeah, it's like right now, you know, Lucio can't really help anything, right? If we wait for the cart to get a little further or get off cart sooner, then we could have Lucio like here booping these people off, allowing our Sojourn to peek this angle as Monkey's in. But right now, our Sojourn has a diva in their face, right? So we're, you know, down like 2 players to actually get kill potential. That's what I'm saying. So we can, yeah, letting the cart push, and then maybe our Sojourn plays cart, and then our Lucio can go forward. That way we're all in the fight, even if we're not directly going on the Ana Zen, or getting the cart a certain distance and then helping Sojourn on high ground, right? And claiming this for your team, right? So kind of the same idea where we went for a dive, but then we were kind of like didn't have everyone in the fight. It's a similar situation. Yeah, and then I think this is my favorite fight of Rialto. The next one's coming up. Gonna get spiked or POV for this. That's pretty sad. Oh, wait, no, I don't think it's. I think it's next.
The next one.
Yeah.
Oh, are you talking about the one where like I just jump and I
He
instantly
pops
die?
like a balloon.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a fun little fight.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Discorded.
knowing what we talked about,
Bam.
right, from the previous fights, how could we have made this play a little easier?
We could amp speed once we get to the high ground.
Okay. Amp speed, you know, yeah, okay. And then what?
To try and get closer and then jump.
Yeah, we can amp
rather
speed like this way. We have cover, a little bit of cover, a little bit of cover, get here, and then jump. So the only time you're
Yeah.
taking a big chunk of damage is from like here to here, really, when you're jumping. You know, Kiri can come with and heal. And in this situation, they don't have trance and they don't have reroll. So Kiri can TP and insta kill these people, right? You can TP and then Kiri go ult and just insta kill them if you really wanted to, right? And then again, it's similar to a situation over here. We go up, rotate, kill the supports, and then we stabilize, right? And then we can see what we do after that. Yeah. And then again, as you know, we come as a couple players here. Lucio, you know, will not be with the Winston anymore, and then the Lucio and Sojourn are their own little duo, and now they're able to sit around. Lucio can protect the Sojourn and just kind of apply damage to everyone else, and you still have cover throughout the rest of that. Right. So that's the. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to go on the supports. We realize they don't have trance. We can go on them. They're far away, so we want to just stagger our movement CDs so we can get to them. And then, you know, maybe have Tracer in sooner, right? Because you can get there by yourself. Yeah. And then we have 14. I think I already covered that one. Fast forward a little bit. Yeah. What do we want to do here? I'll rewind it a bit. We have Qs. Tracer just died. Tracer's coming back. What's the play? They also have Qs.
I think we still try and speed and then jump. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't, but
Yeah, that's
we
another
don't-
option.
We don't want to do that, but
Look-
and then try and force the healers to drop, and then honestly, we could carry out when they do that.
Yeah, right. We
'Cause
go on.
these 3 are gonna peel.
So we want more
They're gonna
help
start
killing them.
falling back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then when they do that, like more than likely, Diva will have to boost her back to peel. Sojourn will have to slide to peel. Reaper will probably have to use cooldown, and then when we have them like that, when they use them to their cooldowns, we carry ult.
Yeah.
And we should win that with the advantage since they don't have Trank.
And I want to look at it like they're, looking at it from the enemy team's perspective. They want to stop you from doing that, right? They want to hold you at bay and just keep withering you down and running you dry, right? But it's really hard for a diva to have much impact. Lucio would be booping them away. Reaper won't do anything, right? Unless, because you guys are speeding really quickly and then jumping, right? The only one that has like any impact is Sojourn, right? And as we're walking, Sojourn can apply pressure here, right? So they can't really do much to stop that. They pop Soldier and all, but that's an ultimate. Yeah. Right, I think we end up going in with Overclock. Yeah. Right? And what does Overclock allow us to do? We get picks, right? And then what else does it do?
Create space.
Resources.
Yeah, it creates space. It forces them off high ground, right? Well, what's the problem with this Soldier ult?
One, I was way too close, so they can just
Like stuff the
hard engage on
door.
me.
Yeah. And what else?
And I also use slides.
Yeah. Right, so we can't live and get out. And also, like, everyone else is kind of, it's not just like a one-man, like, Dragon Blade go and leave the Genji alone, to take a cup of tea, right? If we're going in with his ult, create space. So it's kind of like we're forcing their Diva, Reaper, Sojourn back. We need everyone else to also commit to something. It could be to these people. We pressure them with a Sojourn ult. Yeah, we can force Wraith and kill, force Slide and kill. It's just a disconnect between between everyone else and the Sojourn ult. Not just Monkey. Yeah. So I think that's the main thing to get out, right? Before there's plenty of time if we rewind, right? Where we're kind of skirmishing, not fighting, especially when Tracer's dead. This is the time we need to be thinking of like what we're going to do. We have these ults. Do we know where they are? Right? We can peek, see them. What are we gonna do? Right?
Yeah, here I think we just had a horrible plan. Like it was like Tracer go set up, and then we're gonna die from high ground, which was not a good plan.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
alright. That's what we look at it when we look at it in post, right? That's what we are here for. So I think those are all the eventful fights from here, right? I do have some codes for King's Row, unless there's a specific point people want to look at. And my time is yours. Even on the other maps, but I've been looked at Rialto and King's Row. Yeah.
I mean, for this map, it's pretty much just attack. Like we got stuck here.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything here. So yeah.
Yeah. So just looking at how we can get on supports, right? Easiest people to kill. What rotation can we make if we can't just go straight forward? In the sense of rotation to not take damage and to minimize the angles and pressure from the enemy team, right? They're in our face here. Well, where can we go so that they're not in our face, right? And then they're far away. Well, we have that two-step process, and then keeping an eye on what ults they have, right? So how aggressive we can be. Do we have to go in, force ults, and then disengage, or match ults with ults, right? What we want to think about. Let me load up King's Row. I have like 4 King's Rows here.
Gotta figure out which one's the right one.
Yeah, here
It
we go.
is.
Okay. Yeah. I think we play this and then we swap to the monkey on attack. Yeah. Okay. So same thing. How does this matchup look?
Very similar.
Very similar. So what do we do?
Rotate.
Rotate to do what?
Get
Go on
on
the
to
supports.
someone that's not mobile.
Yeah. Right. What if we can't do that? For whatever reason, right? We can't do that. What's like the second option?
Back up into a spot where they can't see you.
Yeah. Right. And kind of like
Force them to come to you.
Yeah, force them to come to you. And I think that's the plan we go with first here. And also, since we're on the Reinhardt, we're a lot easier. We have a much easier time clearing the angles. Like, if there's a Diva and a Soldier sitting on high ground, we can force them off, right? Comparing that to Rialto, like, on first point high ground, it's much harder to clear the Diva and Soldier off on the monkey comp. Alright, so I want to take a look at this first fight because it's pretty good. Right. So I think, we're slow to recognize that they're on the Ana Zen. We back up. We wall. I like these walls a lot. Wall off the Ana Zen while we rush D.Va. We stabilize in here, right? So this is like our first pressure cycle, right? Thinking about the monkey comp, we go in, right? We didn't get a kill, right? But then we stabilize, get our cooldowns back, and we go in for another hit, right? We go high ground, we clear the Sojourn, force the D.Va back. Same thing, we should have walled the Sojourn off, we force D.Va out. Right? We get a pick in the process. So this is like the opposite end of just rushing down the Ana Zen. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that we do this and it works pretty well. Right. I think now it's a little
What the hell are you doing?
a little all over the place. But we got a pick in it. Get it clean.
I just don't throw the fight, guys. Don't worry.
So I wanna
So
look
are you.
I wanna look at two somewhere over here. Yeah. So this fight, I think I'll illustrate it from top down. I don't think I have to. I think we'll just watch this fight. Well, what are we thinking right now? Let me read it. What are we thinking? What's the play? We go high ground. Easier to, we clear people that are up top and then we drop on them.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, good. Right, we clear the Hanzo D.Va. Right, so who are we going on?
I think we look to go on Zen here, but then I don't know what happens here.
We completely split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think
And
individually we made a wrong decision. It's just we all make different decisions. Right. Rushing the Zen, fine. Rushing the DPS, fine. Right. But like, with we have to do one.
Yeah, I remember here I was like, which side do we drop? Like which way are we dropping? And I think we just didn't decide. And
Yeah.
I just saw someone went.
Yeah. And if
I
we
think
have
my mic
indecision,
must have like not picked it up then, cause I called Zen.
yeah. I think we have
That was one of the
indecision,
moments where
just follow
Spikes
Ryan.
called someone and no one heard him.
I gotta turn a tournament Spike.
I
up in
heard
Discord.
them, but
Bro, I
wasn't
literally have him
myself.
at 200%. I do that. I tell the guys, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn Spike up because I need to hear him. And I turn Sam up because he says important stuff.
Maybe you need to turn your brain up.
Yeah, I gotta turn my brain up.
I heard Spike, but I wanted to alter so I could just swap off.
Oh, that's valid.
Okay.
That's fair. No, the Bastion ult, right? That's fine, right? We ult, right? We die. But everyone else. Things we point out, things we work on. Right? All good. I want to look at for I don't remember what happened to. I think we just. Oh, they just had 5 ults. Yeah, like there wasn't much to say there. You just had 5 Qs. Right, so I want to look at this fight. I want to look at it from Reinhardt POV. Right? So what do we want to do?
I think we need to. I mean, cause realistically, we can't really force that D.Va off the high ground.
Okay.
So I think we need to make it so she has to come to us. So we do that by pressuring her supports.
Yeah.
So we try to run on either. Or, I mean, we could even run on Hanzo here too, because he doesn't have
Like
enough
whoever's on
ability to
card.
really run.
Yeah, right. And again, we have Maywalt to cut off support from healers, or even maybe once D.Va boosters, we can wall everyone else off and focus D.Va if that's what we want to do. Right? Yeah, we're just waiting for Cash right now. Yeah, and it's a good point that you said that we can't really do anything with the D.Va. Very similar to like Ball, right? Against a good Ball, we're just not going to be able to kill him, right?
Yeah.
Unless we like get a really good wall or like a shatter him or something, right? So just having more or less ignoring the D.Va. Lucio passive here will do the damage. Lucio boop when D.Va goes in. This is more than enough. Same thing for Ball. We go in. They bomb. We live. That's really good. You get a pick. Alright. Then I think we just focus a little too much on this D.Va. Right? How close is this Hanzo and Zen? We have Shatter.
That's
Right.
Shatter Cone right there.
Even if we want
All
yeah,
3.
Shatter Cone, yeah.
All
Right?
3.
So we can shoot the D.Va, but I don't think we should give up positioning and shoot them for more than a few seconds, right?
Yeah.
We want to be aware of everyone else. This diva, four people looking at her, is exactly what she wants, right? That's like very similar to last round. Diva baits attention, and their DPS just shoot and kill you. As long as the Rhine is never running on something, the red team will win, right? So all of our decisions kind of come down from like that initial, kind of planning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and we knew, yeah, that's fine. Look at the next time sim I got. 7. Somewhere over here. Okay. We'll pick Bappers POV. We'll get someone different. Right? So we're coming back from Swan. What are we thinking?
I mean, we're probably thinking about their ults right now, our ults right now, what we want to do next fight.
Okay. Well, they just pressed every Q. They had 5 ults. They pressed all of them. Right? So what are we thinking about our ults? What do we
I'm
need to
pretty
do?
sure we shatter first here.
Okay.
That's probably what we want to do. And then if shatter doesn't win, we can place window and clean up.
Okay. So we first of all see the Hanzo on high ground, and we're getting shot at by the soldier, right? So we want to shatter. So how can we get to a position to shatter while taking the least amount of damage, right? Because right now they're winning. They're shooting us, and we're not fighting, which means they're winning, right?
I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's it.
I was just gonna say, I think keep walking this right high ground, because if we drop here to this left, like yeah, it's gonna be quicker to point, but that Sojourn has an even more free reign on us as we walk. So I think trying to stay like, although we do have to help our May here, I think just trying to stay on that top right and then dropping from there, gives us another like second or two of cover, and then I can shatter like the Ana there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like that. Right. You know, it all comes down to like we want to do this, right? And what rotation allows us to do that best. Right. And I'm kind of skipping points because I don't want to take up like too much time. Going over like every single fight, but there are fights on I believe our attack where we do that really well. Like we make a rotation, that does exactly that. Right. I'm just kind of showing the bad to get more clips in. Yeah, and then exactly what you said happened, right? The soldier is up top, very easy for us to farm, and we, insta lose our bat, right? As opposed to like walking this way and then looking at this free shatter, right? And even window shatter, and if we want to, or window, right? Pop a window, you can insta kill this Zen, insta kill this Ana, right? Yeah. And we even shatter the diva.
Yeah.
It's just like we can't kill her, right?
Yeah.
Without like locking this diva down, right? Like we have to shatter her, wall off the supports, and put like 2 right click into her to kill her, like 2 cast right clicks. Or else she just doesn't die. That's kind of that fight right there. Yeah,
Oh, this was funny, yeah.
Oh, is that where
yeah.
they
Oh
thought
yeah,
they
they
were
see 9.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From my POV, I thought I was like right next to the cart,
on.
so I was like, how is that not on?
Yeah, they weren't even close.
No,
Oh,
that
God.
was a
Yeah.
schizo moment from
The
them.
nano diva just doesn't even touch. It's rough.
I know Diva doesn't get bigger.
Yeah. But I want to show I know I'm kind of saying the same thing for both rounds, right? Where one is like, oh, just kill the Ana Zen, right? But I want to show the contrast between the 2 different comps, right? There's 2 ways. Like, I'm gonna take credit from someone else. Spike Gaming put a really good resource online, and I can share that with you guys as well on how to do like the matchup analysis really quickly. But if we were to put all 5 of our players in one spot and versus all 5 of their players in one spot, and we like kind of like head to head, who would win? Right? I guess I'll rewind it before we swap. Our comp or their comp? Just like in a
Our
straight up
comp,
like 5
easy.
people walking at each other.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. You guys win. Okay, so you guys are labeled the frontline comp, right? And automatically that makes the red team the angles comp, right? So, right, another way to look at that is like in terms of short range damage, long range damage, and mobility. Where the left, let's say the left end is frontline, the right side is angles. It'll be close range damage, long range damage, and mobility. Right. So if you have a team comp that's all mobility, and a team comp that's all long range, the long range comp becomes the quote unquote frontline team. Think of like playing like double shield in Overwatch Run, like, or even now Sig double sniper versus like full dive, right? The double sniper team can't play super split, or else they just die to ball sombra, right? So that's how we look at it. And then for the frontline comp, which is what we are in this, there's two playstyles. We can either run it down and kill something, which would be in this case the Ana Zen, or we bunker down and deny them from surrounding us, which is what you were doing here, like clearing these angles, playing here, waiting for them to come on, right? Playing in spots that it's harder for them to do that, right? And if we look at, I'll pull up I'll pull up the next round actually, because it kind of flops, right? So right now, right, let's do the same thing. Which I'll do. Yeah, we'll do it here, right? So if we put both teams together and they're kind of like, they walk into each other, what's gonna happen? Which team's gonna explode first?
Red explodes.
Red explodes? Monkey versus 2 long range DPS and a Discord, right? And all the damage DM'd.
Monkey definitely explodes first.
Right? So that's how we look at this, right? So like, oh shit, well we can't just stay as 5 players and walk into them, right? They just have so much damage, right? But if they're, so what can we do instead? Now we are the quote unquote angles team. Another way to look at it, we have way more mobility, aggressive mobility than their team. So we're going to be looking to play split, and our 2 options for the angles team is to surround, take angles, and then dive, or disrupt, right? So imagine if we're playing this comp and the other team's on Rhine, right? We might not be able to dive anything, but we can constantly like pressure them from every single side until something buckles and then we go in. Or we surround them and just go for a hit, right? So that's kind of our play style here, right? And it's kind of what I was alluding to last round, where we need these angles. We need our Tracer, we need our Sojourn, because if we just kind of go as 5 players into them, it's just, we're gonna explode. Yeah, does that make sense? How to like quickly get like our general idea of how to play our comp?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that changes based on not what we're playing, but what the enemy team's playing, right? If they're on Zen Brig, Ball, Tracer, Sombra, well, suddenly we can't split up, right? If our Genji and Lucio go for a flank together, they're just gonna get insta killed, ball slam, Sombra hack to Discord, and they're just gonna die, right? So in that case, we're the quote unquote frontline team where we play closer together, looking to quickly rush down like their Zen Brig, or playing in a spot, thinking like Overwatch Run, you have like a brawl team with a Sombra, right, to like lock down the ball, right? So it's that same idea. Yeah. So and then I can load up the other clips. So if we look at 10:37, right? We're gonna put what we said to practice, right? Right now. Oh no, this is before we swap. No, this is before we swap. We rolled out. I forgot we rolled out on Ryan. Yeah. So what do we want to do here? Or we, kind of same thing from defense. What are we thinking?
I think what we're doing here is not what we should be doing. We should probably try to rotate high ground to force them out.
Force them out, yeah. So that they're less, not surrounding us. Yeah, because we know if we get them, if we force them out and get them grouped and we rush down something, we win. We win that, right? Yeah. So yeah, we can go this way and wrap around. We can go this way, right? We can go this way, and really, if you want to go all the way this way, we can do that, right? But I think what we end up doing.
I did my one placement. Like,
I was walking out and dying.
Yeah, because I mean, realistically, we can't really do anything here because Dio's the only one on point, and
Yeah, and we don't have anything to like
She's
lock her
just-
down.
yeah, she'll just boost her away and live.
Yeah, right. And it's not like we're on defense where we need to like stop them from capping, right? Where we force her out and then now we're good. We don't have to do anything. But on attack, we have to proactively do something, right? Yeah, right. And if I like that we wall off the Hanzo, right? But they like look, we wall one, but there's
Yeah.
three other angles, right? That's just really hard to deal with.
He just climbs over it, so what the hell?
Yeah,
Actually, the most cosmetic wall.
Yeah, right. But again, we go up here, shield in the face. This soldier doesn't move. She gets, right click.
Exploded.
She just exploded, right? Cast grenade. She just dies. Go this way. They have to run away, or drop. And again, we have speed. They don't. We will always out rotate them. If we do this little game of the Zen drops, now he's here and he runs away, like we'll catch up to them eventually. Right? We have to keep that in mind too, because they're not going to just stand here. They're going to drop. Now we have high ground. They're on us, probably going to go this way. We drop, amp speed, run them over. Right? And they won't have time to set up angles around us. It would be very awkward for them. Right? You can see that in like older VODs of like double shield. When people play double shield on King's Row and they get run over by Brawl, because the Brawl just kind of systematically clears them out. Right? I want to highlight this next fight because this is good but also bad. It's 11 right here. Right, so what do we want to do? Kind of alluded to it earlier.
I mean, just like push them, get them grouped up, and then we just have Monkey Winston, so we just win that if they're all close.
Yeah, right?
Monkey Winston.
Yeah. What about you? Right now. So what's the play right now?
As of right now, I think you
Yeah,
punished the
I feel like
Diva.
I think we called an engage, but then the Diva also turbo fed, so we just kind of abandoned Spike and killed Diva.
Okay. Right, and what's the Diva's role in this? Right, she wants to get looked at. Now, yes, she fed, right? But we just gotta be careful of like, there might be a world where this Diva doesn't die, right? Where what has more guaranteed value, right? 3 people jumping a Hanzo, he just dies. Like there's no world where he lives that, right? Especially since he's not in range of trance. Right?
Yeah.
Where 3 people go on a Diva, they still might live. Yes, the Diva is feeding, and right? But against better Divas, it might not be so so
I get that.
guaranteed. Yeah. Right, and then we know where they are, right? We can send our Genji, like our Genji can come this way. Now Genji is set up, right? Winston can jump from, I think you jump from down here, right? And then we have multiple angles on this Hanzo hit, to clear him, as like or everyone else comes this way. I think it still ends up working out. We trade, right? And our heroes are better for like the scrappier fights when both teams get picked and we speed on the ports. It's really good. Yeah. And then one thing I want to bring up, do we talk about like what types of splits we do? I didn't really bring it up earlier. Or no?
You did not talk about splits.
Yeah, so like, we can have our monkey Kiri, or like I'm in terms of like we have like a
dive split and then
or
like a
3
split.
like a 2-2-1
3-2.
split, right? Where it's like a Winston and a Kiri, like a Genji and a Lucio and a Sojourn, right? In terms of like what type of positions they take. So like you leave your Sojourn here, maybe Genji and Lucio flank behind, and then Winston Kiri come from up here or something, or come from this way. Winston Kiri come from this way, Lucio Genji come from this way, and Sojourn's like on this high ground. Right? So it might be easy to look at it in terms of that, where everyone has like a dance partner or a group, or even like a 3-2 where the Winston, Kiri, Sojourn play together until the Winston jumps in, then obviously Sojourn just stays or slides, and then the Lucio Genji come from a different angle. Right? So imagine the fight's happening like here, they're on a Zen or here, right? You send your monkey this way, your Lucio Genji come from this way and pinch. So even if there's a Hanzo that fights the Genji, will the Lucio Genji just 2v1 and kill him? Right? Kind of like mercy pocketing a DPS and having them go their own way. It's the same idea. That might be an easy way of kind of quickly communicating it, right? Especially when you guys play different comps. So if we have like the Reaper, because you play the Reaper on Hollywood, maybe the Reaper would be part of the Winston group, and then the Lucio Soldier, and they go flank, or the Kiri Soldier, and then Winston, Lucio, Reaper are their own group, right? Where like the Kiri Soldier take high ground, while the Winston Lucio Reaper go the other way, right? For example. Yeah. I want to look at 1432. Any questions? Because I'm kind of talking for a little bit.
Nah,
Oh,
I think you're good.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. What are we thinking right now? Got point. Push it through most of the second. Right?
This would be perfect to have the split
Why? Why would it be perfect to have the split?
because they're gonna have to walk out into that little
Yeah.
like
So
stretch of area. So you put 2 people on the left side and then 3 people on the right side.
yeah. Yeah. Right. Imagine if we have our Lucio and Genji over here, because Winston, you don't need to. They're gonna come here, right? Our Lucio Genji come here, right? And now they're chilling. They'll go on back, and you guys go on the front, or however the fight develops. Yeah. So like picture the same play where we want to like Kiriko and jump in, but our Lucio and Genji are already here wall climbing over. Are already here on this pinch. The soldier just insta-dies, kill her, and then we can keep pushing forward. Right?
And we have Amp!
And we have Amp too. Yeah. Right? Our Lucio's already there. Winston jumps in, we Amp and chase. And we also have the Kiriko, right? So just looking at our fights like that, right? Can help automatically fix like the Winston amp speed. Which just makes things a lot easier. Right? Yeah, especially against if the team plays let's say they're on like a Rhine comp, right? That format to how we split is even more important. So
Because that fight would have been way easier.
Exactly. It's just a lot harder than it had to be.
Wait, so you think like Lucy and I should start on the left, like in the room on the left side?
Yeah, and then you
Like
can
in
push
there?
in. Yeah, because like what are they gonna do, right? Not rocket science. They're gonna touch cart. Their diva's gonna touch cart. Their diva's gonna be unkillable. We just can't kill the diva, right? So we have to look to get past the diva, right? You two are already past the diva, and you don't even need dash to get onto anyone, right? And then Winston can jump past, right? So and you could take that same idea in other parts of the map, right?
Yeah.
Like this corner, right? They're pushing through here. Your Winston's up here, all right, and you have your Lucio Genji over here. Unless like you need to be with the team, let's say to like beat something, right? Then you obviously you might not want to be with the Genji there, right? Because you need to protect everyone else. But if there's nothing they don't have ults. There's nothing you really gotta beat or peel for anything, right? Then this would be especially since it's just Diva. It's only one dot. Like they don't have other divers. You reinforcing your Genji can help a lot.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if you look at it from like the enemy team's POV, there's a monkey in front and a like Lucio Genji behind. It's just rough. Yeah. What are the fights we got? I have 2 more screenshots. Okay, this is a big one, and then I'll go back to the other one. 1609.
60 seconds.
Okay. You win the fight. Fog. Right?
Fog.
What do we want to do for next fight? How are we gonna stage for this fight? There's only so many spots the enemy team can be. Their squishies can be.
Right there, boom.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the
Yeah, I
enemy
like
team
this.
gonna do? What
They're going
can
to
they
play
do?
They're going to
farther
come
back.
up here.
They're gonna play farther back. Yeah. Okay. Are they gonna send anyone up top?
Yeah,
They
going
probably
to
yeah,
pick me up.
Sojin.
Yeah. Right. So
We're gonna
who's
send Sojourn up to the opposite
gonna
high ground,
send-
and then Reaper
yeah.
and Diva up to that high ground.
Yeah.
what's the best thing we can do to get rid of this Reaper Diva?
Jump into their back line.
We'll jump into
Yeah.
their back. What if we're not ready? Right. We're still.
We could-
Like, how can we get rid of them?
What if you don't actually get rid of them? The moment Diva and Reaper use jump onto our monkey to push him off, Spike actually dive onto their Sojourn.
Yes, that is good. That is good, right? We recognize that they use movement cooldowns and we just go past them, yeah. Right? But it looks like we're not ready to do that. We have 4 people on cart, right? So that's not an option, right? I'm saying it's like if our Lucio is one of the best things Lucio is doing good at is controlling high ground, right? It's like having a brig up here. Every time this Diva goes up, boop, boop. Reaper TPs, boop, right? So they can never force you off. Like if Diva, what does Diva have to do? Stop you guys from going in. Diva can't stop you from going in if you're in this position with Lucio, right? There's other maps as well, like when you have high ground control, right? Even not only that, just having more people up here. So when this Diva does boost her up, and I think she does with Reaper, we can do what you said, right? They boost up. Well, do we have people ready to go on this Sojourn that slid up here? No, we don't, right? So again, we have so much downtime. Like the point I'm getting at.
We're trolling Spike.
We
Yeah,
kill
pretty
him,
much.
right? And how much time do we have to think?
Way too much.
Okay, same plan, no swaps, right? How are we going? Where do we want to be to kill them? Right? So being a little more proactive in that. Right? Spend like 12 seconds at least.
This is really funny.
Yeah, I'm actually straight spectating right now.
All
Okay.
4 of you
Yeah, we
are.
all are.
Right?
Spike's like, dude, what is my team doing?
I mean, to be fair, I think we're probably talking, but I'm not like thinking about the next fight. We're just like talking about alts or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spike's probably talking about what he wants to do this fight.
Right? So this is where so it's good. I like that you brought up we're talking about ults, but half of it's like a team thing we want to talk about, half of it's like an individual thing, right? So it's like you instantly went up here. Did you talk about coming up here before you went here? Like, did you be like, hey team, where do I want to go? I want to take high ground. I'm sure you didn't do that, right? You just instinctively went up here because this is a good spot for Winston, right? That's how we all kind of want to think, like individually, right? What we want to be thinking about, like, where do I want to be, right, for the next spot, for the next hit. And then as a team, what we're talking about is, oh, what ults we're going to use, where we're going to use it, and stuff like that. What ults do they have, how we deal with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of just explode. So. Yeah. And I think look at. I have one more timestamp saved. I don't remember what happened to. Sorry about that. It was right before we cap.
Wait, moving as a unit?
Moving as unit. Okay. We go left.
That'll be you.
Right. This isn't bad, right? It's a shorter distance to get to people between, instead of going this way, right? There's a lot more distance, and it forces the enemy team to counter rotate. And what do we have that they don't? We got
Speed.
speed, right? So if we make a rotation where the enemy team has to react, they're going to be slow to react. Just like if we go high ground, we go up here. Well, we're just faster than them. Not only we have characters that have movement abilities, and we have speed. Right, so I like that we go left, catches their DPS off guard, we get the Hanzo as a result, and then we chase and go on the, oh no, yeah, that's good. No, that's good. Some other options too, right, as our, write it a little bit. Like as our core goes left, if we wanted to, and if like they met us and we're going this way and it's hard, we can have our like Lucio Genji come up here, right? Because their focus is this way. You come from this way, and then we get another angle on that hit, right? But us going as left as a unit worked. It caught them off guard, and we killed the Hanzo as a result. That was good. Yeah. other options for the same outcome. But yeah, bringing it full circle to what I said at the start, right? We want to think about not overlapping our speed and jump, right? Being in positions, Kiri, I think we died a lot because we used our DP, right? In situations we don't have to, right?
Yep.
Just, like what ult should they have? If I TP in, am I gonna get fucked, right? And am I in a position where I can just wall climb and still see? If not, TP in, kill him, right? We know what we want. For the most part, we know what we want to do, right? So we want to think of what's stopping us. Can we make rotations? Can we split to get to where we want to be better, right? Are we going to go in, force ult and then reset and go in for another cycle, and then keeping in mind that's how we want to go for it, right? Are the big things to take away, right? And then the rotations and timing become even more important when we're on the Reinhardt. Right, because we don't have, the only mobility we have is our Lucio speed, right? Yeah. Any questions? Anyone want me to look at something specific?
I think that was a lot. And we can definitely, it's easy fix. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's an easy fix.
Yeah, we spent a few scrims working on it. I think Timoteo said that you guys didn't have a many VODs before, like you had one like impromptu one.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the moving forward is do you guys have scrim goals? I think I asked that at the start or no. I don't remember because people were still showing up.
What do you mean
Not,
by
not
scrim
really like
goals?
team goals. Like we don't really go in as like a team, be like, okay, we're gonna do this. You
Right.
know.
So I bring that up because what makes a scrim from today different from a scrim from last month? Right?
True.
That going into each scrim, like it doesn't matter if you win. You don't get anything if you just roll the enemy team and spawn camp them, right? But even if you're spawn camping them and you're working on, your ult tracking on, someone, right? Like that's something you still get value out of, even if you beat the enemy team. And even if you lose and get spawn camp, you still get value out of the scrim. Right? So
True.
it's just another way of looking at scrims. And then on paper, right, you guys, in a Discord probably have like a notes chat or something, you put scrim goals or something. I'm working on one example. We're working about thinking about our rotations for every fight, right? In 1 month from now, you can literally look at a code and see the difference, right? And you have like typed stuff in a chat saying you've worked on this for 3 scrims. And you don't need me to look back at it too. You can look at it back on yourself and see, well, do you think you did better on it? Yes or no, right? And if you think you did better and met all of your scrim goals, then that's where you can go for another VOD for more scrim, more things to work on, the next step, right? I feel like a lot of teams just kind of don't really set goals, and then it can cause a lot of frustration between players. I don't know if that's a thing for you guys. Don't want to assume, right?
I think we're chilling.
But everyone can look back even from a tilted scrim and be like, we made progress on this, right? That's a thumbs up, right? Yeah.
100%.
Cool. Yeah. Timoteo, congrats on GM1. I don't know if I said that already, but
Thank you.
Big climb.
Easy.
Job's
not finished though.
Top 500.
I need it.
Yeah, I think I gave up on. I just got GM1. I was happy with that. Like I'm done. I'm gonna play Mr. Heroes for the rest of the season or something. See if that's a little better.
It's not.
Not.
It's still
It's
coin
fun if
flip.
you do like a 5-stack.
It's still
That's
a coin
fun.
flip if you win your game or not, right? Whether you're playing Roll Q or Mr. Heroes.
I haven't played that many games in Mr. Heroes, so yeah. But yeah. I think you said someone couldn't show up, right? Or were they able to show up? I don't know.
Yeah, it was Lifky.
Was that me? Yes, I had an exam.
All good.
I came like halfway through.
I had a midterm earlier today. But yeah, I'll send the YouTube video. You guys can look back at it later on. If you have any questions, right? For and it has something to do with a replay code, you can send the replay code timestamp. And I'll get back to you when I can. I'm a little slow to reply because of uni, but get back to you when I can.
All right.
Yeah. And everyone enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Bye.
See you. Oh, he left instantly.
Oh,
Oh,
He
damn.
heard you.
Oh.
He heard you.
Hey,
the end.
hey. I want to ask what happened to the last team you're on.
Oh, yellow. Everyone left.
Oh no.
I
You
left. I left, and then everyone else left.
Yeah, Tim was kind of like the glue to PH.
It happens to every team I'm on. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I leave and the team explodes.
Because I
Yeah,
remember we
that's because you're a
scrimmed-
tank.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
like
it
even in
is.
Overwatch 1, like
Yeah, even
I
so,
joined the team with Natter's fiance was on the team, and I like left because of school stuff, and then right after, everyone else left.
Okay,
I was like,
let me say this
okay.
then. Let me say it. If one of your tank player leave, it's better off just leave the entire game, the entire thing. It's better
Yeah.
off because once your tank leave,
Team
it's
changes.
basically the team changes and you're basically just gonna be an entirely new team. So
Yeah.
it's better off just leave the team and just go for a different team if you don't really like the others or you don't really feel comfortable with the
Yeah,
others.
so basically, tanks are that important.
The
Please
MVP
stop
right there,
flaming us.
That's why Icarus disbanded.
No.
Because after I left, the team just everyone just kind of left.
But did you leave because of ISU?
Yeah.
Or just okay.
Yeah, because I left
just didn't have time
yellow
to do
because
both.
of ISU.
Because I remember we scrimmed you guys, and then like Hammershank said like the team you guys didn't have a team anymore. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did like DPS rings. They like barely had DPS players either.
Yeah, we had a problem for like 2 months with DPS players.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It was like we'd get a trial and then they would be trying for like 5 other teams and we're like, okay. That's
that's
cool.
normal.
But yeah, but like I don't know. I think 5 teams is crazy.
I did that.
Getting a
Okay, Buggy.
variety.
Big variety.
Actually, no, I didn't do 5. The most I did was 4.
Oh.
Okay, that's better.
That's better.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering because I know we scrimmed you guys a few times and then it kind of stopped
Yeah.
happening. Yeah.
It just exploded
Oof.
and I was more interested in this team.
Cool. Do you play with everyone here, or are you the coach? Or I don't know.
I am currently the bench player.
Bench
He's
player.
the-
Oh.
Well, he's
So-
like the
Essential part of our team,
captain.
though.
I'm the sub
If
because
we ever try ball comp, he's in.
Oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
plays
I'm the ball
ball.
player.
And sometimes he plays bat when we feel goofy.
So he's the specialist, not the bench warmer. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
I prefer the term bench warmer actually.
You know
For-
what?
We like played against another team and I like went in for one game to play ball and we lost the map and then I went into ranked after. And I got one of the other team's players on there and they called me a bench player, so I like hard focused the game and absolutely gapped them.
Yeah, we destroyed.
And I said best bench player. And it's just been
I'm
a
the
running
bench
joke
player.
ever since.
Hey.
I'm okay with being called a bench player. I do everything that the manager is supposed to do for this team, and I am proud.
Hey.
Yeah.
He also yells at us when we're stupid, which is
True.
good.
Oh, it's
You need
I
to
nice.
get
yelled
like
at them
that.
on Rialto when they were just slamming their heads against them.
It's nice to get an outside perspective, you know, to take advantage of people that aren't in the game. Especially
Don't
when
take
you have bigger
advantage of me
rosters.
though.
Help each other out. There you go.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I won't hold you guys anymore.
Oh my
All right.
god.
Okay, thanks again.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Bye bye.
Skirt.